Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you the horror story of the time I went to go get my ears pierced. Now this probably happened 5 years ago now because I was going into my freshman year of high school. My birthday's in late August, so this happened a couple days after my birthday. I woke up one day and I decided that, hey, you know what, I want to go get my ears pierced. So I asked my mom and she said, yeah, we can go, and her and my grandma went and took me to go get my ears pierced. So we went to the mall by my house, and I'm not gonna name the mall or name the place that I went to get my ears pierced because I don't think that it was their fault. I think that it was just this woman's fault, this specific worker, and you know, she might not even work there anymore. So, but we went to this kiosk that was like in the middle of the mall. So when you're walking down the main aisle of the mall, there's like little kiosks and carts, and there's a piercing one. So I went to the piercing kiosk, and it was probably a bad decision on my part to just wake up and be like, hey, I want to go get my ears pierced, because I didn't do any research on how you should be getting your cartilage pierced. I didn't know that it should be done with a needle instead of a gun, and I didn't know that needles didn't hurt that much either. I mean, obviously piercing's gonna hurt, but it's probably the same amount of pain. I got my nose pierced with a needle, and that didn't hurt at all, so I probably should have went and got it done with a needle, but that was my fault. So we show up, and at this specific place you pay for the pair of earrings and then the piercing is free. So I was just gonna go and get my cartilage done up here. I was just gonna get that done, but I was like, you know, you're paying for two earrings, you know, like a pair, so why not get another piercing? And I'd always kind of liked the middle ear piercing, so I asked my mom, and she's like, I guess. So I told the lady, and she like marked off the 2 spots, and then we went to piercing. And so she pierced both of my piercings with a gun, which do not do. You should go and get it done with a needle. Learn from my mistake. But she pierced my cartilage up here first, and that didn't hurt too bad, you know, like I'm pretty good with piercing, so you know, I don't think it really hurt. And then she went to do my middle piercing. Now I don't know how to explain this, but you know, like the fatty part of your ear, like the lobe, and then you have the cartilage in your ear. Well, this piercing was right on this like line, if you can see that, of my ear, where like the cartilage and the fatty lobe part meet up. So it was literally right on the line, like half of it was in the cartilage, half of it was outside of it. So she pierced it, and it hurt like hell. Like, it was so painful. I didn't cry or anything, but it definitely stung a lot more than my lobes would, or my cartilage, when I got that pierced. So, you know, we pay her, we leave, whatever. So probably a week and a half later, I'm in school because school had started, and you know, I think I'm pretty cool with my new piercings, and my cartilage up here, healing fine. I could turn it because they tell you to turn it, but a lot of people say not to, so whatever. But I was turning it. It was turning fine. I could not at all get that middle one to budge. So I'm not the type of person that's just like, you know, my mom just paid like, you know, 20 or 30 bucks to go get my ears pierced, and I'm not going to tell her something's wrong with it. So I waited probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 more days. It was Sunday when this happened, so I wake up on Sunday at 5 o'clock in the morning, and my ear is killing me, and it's swollen and it's hot to the touch, which means I had an infection, and I knew something was wrong. So like, I just happened to like go like this, you know, on my ear to make sure my earring was still in my ear. Well, I didn't feel any earring. So I'm freaking out, but I felt like the post of the earring. I didn't feel the diamond on the top of the earring, if that makes sense. Well, I run into the bathroom at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my god, something is wrong. Like, the diamond part fell off, but the the post and the back that you put on your earring was still in my ear. And I'm like, what? You know, and I kind of like tugged at the back because I was like, well, if the post is, you know, I'll just take it out, but it wouldn't come out. Well, I go wake my mom up and I tell her like something's wrong with my ear. I think I need to go see a doctor, or I need to go back to the piercing place. And actually, no, I didn't say I needed to go to the doctor. I said I wanted to go back to the piercing place to kind of yell at this woman because I had been having problems with it ever since I had it. So we wait until probably 8 o'clock in the morning. Everybody gets up, and at this time my grandma was living with us, so she got up too, and you know, everybody's looking at my ear, and I'm like, don't touch it, it hurts. It was red, it was swollen, it was horrible, and it hurt so bad. So my mom and my grandma are like, you need to go to the doctor. And you know, I don't want to go to the doctor at this point because the only doctor's office that's open would be going to the ER, because it was a Sunday and our doctor's offices here usually aren't open on Sundays, and if they are, it's only for like 2 or 3 hours. So with my mom and my grandma, we go up to a doctor's office that we found that was open, and so we go up there, and you know, I'm thinking that the diamond part had fallen off, and somehow the rod or post part of the earring was just stuck in my ear somehow because it was so swollen. So we go into the back room. The doctor takes us in there, and she's like, well, what's going on? And I tell her everything, and she's like, okay, well, let me take a look. And I was petrified of the pain that I was going to have to go through when she was going to have to yank this earring out, because I'm thinking she's going to get the back out and then either pull it out of the back or push it out of the front. And you know, I'm just scared because it's like it's gonna be so painful. So I am like laying there. There was a nurse in there and my doctor or PA, and I was like, I want a shot in my ear. I want a shot in my ear. You need to numb my ear. Well, the doctor was like, well, you're probably gonna go through a lot more pain getting the shot in your ear, and you're still gonna feel some of it, so you know, what's the point, basically. So I was like, fine, no shot, no nothing. My mom's in the room with me because I was scared, and so she gets these it's almost like a clamp, basically it was a clamp, and she somehow got it between my ear and the backing part that you put on your earring so that your earring doesn't fall out. So the clamps on the rod of the earring between my ear and the backing. So then she's trying to pull this backing off the earring. Backing wouldn't come off. And you know, it's hurting, and I'm like, ow, ow, you know. And finally, she gets the backing off. Well, because she had so much force on the backing to try to get it off, her hand slipped that was holding the clamp and ripped my ear sideways. Didn't rip it all the way through, but ripped it sideways. And all of a sudden, because I was laying on my side on the doctor's table, and all of a sudden I just feel all of this like wetness, and it was blood coming down my neck. So like the other nurse is coming over, and I'm like, am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? And they didn't want to tell me that so much blood was coming out of my ear. So she's like wiping it all off, and then at this point, like, the earring was out. Everything was out of my ear, and they're cleaning it up. It only took like maybe 1 or 2 minutes, like this whole process, but it hurt really bad. But instantly it was like relief as soon as the earring got out. So they're cleaning me up, and then the doctor looks over at my mom and is like, do you want me to give her a stitch? And I was like, what? I'm like, you cut me open that deep? I was like, oh my god. Now, I've never had stitches in my life. I've never really broken a bone. I've fractured bones, but I've never broken a bone. So I'm not used to like that type of pain, like medical pain. So I was like, stitches, no, I don't need stitches. It's fine. I'll take care of it. I don't care if there's a scar or anything. So she like put this huge like padding all over my ear and like taped it to my head. So we had to run errands after this. So like I'm walking around the store with like this huge, like basically half of my head back here covered in gauze. But what I didn't tell you was they had handed me a little pill bottle with my earring inside of it, because they were like, if you want to keep it or if you want to discard of it. So like, I looked at it. No. The diamond did not fall off. The diamond was engulfed inside of my ear. That's how swollen my ear was, right? Horrible. But now, you know, the top cartilage one, nothing. It was fine. Like, fine healing, fine everything. So they gave me this like lotion or like ointment to like put on it. It was basically like Neosporin, just to make sure it was all fine, and I had to go back and get checked up, and I was fine. Well, here comes my smart thinking. About 2 years later, me and my friend decide to go get pierced. And where else would we go but to the same kiosk in the same mall? And I can't remember if it was the same lady, but you know, it was the same kiosk. So I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna just get like the fatty part of my ear pierced so there won't be any issues, right? Well, I did the same thing. I paid for the pair of earrings and I got 2 piercings. But this time I was thinking, I'm like, I'm not gonna get it on the cartilage. I'm just, you know, I asked her if she could fit 2 piercings by my first lobe piercing without hitting cartilage. She was like, yeah, okay, alright. So she pierces my ear, everything's fine. I mean, not even 3 days later, I can already feel it starting to do what that piercing did. And I was like, no, I'm not dealing with this. And I took it out and I just kept it clean and put some like Neosporin on it. And they healed up, but everything was, you know, everything was fine. But, you know, I wasted basically $30 on that piercing. But that was my fault for not learning the first time. So then, my friend that I went and got pierced with, she knows probably a lot more about piercings than I do, because I didn't really do research. Like I said, I didn't know that you're supposed to get pierced with just a needle rather than a gun. So she's like, yeah, you know, guns will shatter your cartilage. And I was like, huh, I wonder if that's what happened with my metal piercing. So I like reach up and I'm like feeling the side of my ear, and it is literally jagged pieces of cartilage in there. It's horrible. I mean, it's not like sharp, but it's jagged, like you can tell. So like, I don't think I'll be getting another piercing anytime soon. And if I do, it would only be like another, like a second hole in my lobe. But that is just a forewarning to everybody thinking about getting pierced. Make sure that if you're getting pierced in your cartilage, make sure you're doing it with a needle, because you don't want to go through what I went through and then having like a doctor's bill on top of losing out like $30 to get your ears pierced. It's not fun. But I hope you enjoyed my story time, and if you liked it, give me a like down below, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends so that they can all get a laugh at my horrible judgment in piercing my ears. Well, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!